Did you know that you could be getting 2 deals a month from Facebook groups for free? No ads, no spending a dime, and even if you're not a social media guru. Ready to crush it? So let's just get into it. Do you have enough leads in 2025? Things have changed. So who is this for? Agents, loan officers who don't know or haven't even considered how many leads they need to generate to hit their revenue goals. If you're not getting as much activity from your database or sphere as you were, despite that maybe you're staying consistent. If you want a clear number of the leads that you need to generate so that you can break it down into your daily activities. Okay? Anybody resonate with that one? I know lots of agents are like, I don't even know what I'm supposed to be doing, like how much I'm supposed to be doing each day. Or you're just sick of the stress, uncertainty, and anxiety around not knowing whether you've done enough. All right, real talk. Who can relate with that one? End of the day, you're trying to just go to sleep, but your brain is going, did I do enough today? I mean, seriously. Honestly, a lot of these things that I teach you, by the way, and I share with you, they come from those evening thoughts and me saying, I don't want to feel like this anymore. And then I work hard on solving this problem, and then I bring it to you guys. And I only do it after I know it works, too. I do not bring you stuff that's garbage or that's a waste of time or that I haven't even tested and verified for myself that is true and it works. Now, I will be clear. If you think having no clear goals or metrics will help you crush your 2025 goals, then this is not the call for you. Okay? We are clarity, transparent, focused, and you may think that sounds redundant, but honestly, there are a lot who are like, "No, I'm good." All right. As always, guys, this is a distraction-free zone. Unless you're driving or doing something there it would be unsafe to have your video on, then please turn on your video. This is a community. This is as close as we can get. Terry, you rock. Thank you. It's good to see you. Yeah, that's right. I got some tea. No distractions. So if you have to, mute the phone, right? Be safe. If you're driving, keep the video off then, okay? Because I want you to be safe. But also, if you're doing something distracting, that means you're distracting others. Participate. We are highly interactive, highly engaged. For those of you who are recurring to this meeting, you know we aren't just sitting here chilling, texting, and doing nothing. We're focused, we're engaged, we support, and we build with one another. And then, of course, at the end, just share with others what you learned. I believe in making our industry better. And come on, who doesn't want to work with more competent agents on the other side? Well, how do they get that competency? By us, one, leading by example, and then two, sharing the opportunities for them to learn the things they need to learn. As always, let's just get right into it. What is a lead? So I want you guys to type in the chat with me what you define a lead as. There's no wrong definition, by the way. And I will share my definition, but I just want to know, what is your definition of a lead? Keep it short, keep it simple. You can even just use an example, right? Here's this person I met. I would consider that a real estate lead, right? And do it even if you're not confident or haven't even thought about it before. Just try your best. Lauren already on it. Anyone ready or close to ready to buy or sell? So kind of like ready and able or willing and kind of expressed interest in real estate. I like it. Tara, a person who needs real estate help. I like it. Judy, someone that has an interest in real estate. I like it. There we go. Barbara, someone we know or don't know. There we go. Much more broad. Yeah. Sunny, someone with either a phone number, message, email that I can talk to about real estate. Sunny, you're starting to sound like me a little bit right there. Have we talked before? Kathleen, anyone who has a real estate conversation with you and is interested. I like this. This is great, guys. So, Lori, someone I talk to or make contact with and may at some point want to buy or sell real estate. Fantastic. So let's get into my definition. And again, we're going to use my definition because obviously I'm hosting the call. So You still can define what a lead is to you, but obviously, for the sake of our conversation, we need to be on the same page. So here's what I define a lead as: a lead is someone you haven't engaged with recently about real estate, either someone you've contacted before or someone you haven't talked to in the last 3 to 6 months. So, in other words, you haven't brought up real estate, okay? And you haven't ever with them, right? You've never had that conversation. Or you just haven't talked to them in the last 3 to 6 months about real estate related. Now, the truth is that I actually lean a bit more in Barbara's camp that everyone is a lead. I actually do believe that because we have no way of gauging when someone is ready or not. I mean, it seriously. And for those of you who have sold consistently over the years, you know you've had bad leads who end up being the best leads ever, right? You've had people come out of the woodworks that you're like, oh, what the heck? They're ready to buy or sell, right? So I do believe in that, but for the sake of what we're going to try to do today, we're going to keep it real estate related. So you haven't talked to them in 3 to 6 months, right? So it could have been someone a long time ago. You just haven't talked in a while. Or someone you've never even talked to about real estate. You've never been intentional. And that could be your mom, by the way, which a lead is your mother, your kid's teacher, your best friend, members in Facebook groups, strangers, neighbors, or even your Amazon driver. Essentially, anyone who isn't on your active real estate radar. Because if they are active in your real estate radar, now you should be following up with them, right? You see what I'm doing there? Does that make sense? The different categories, right? A lead is someone that is not active in your real estate radar. You're not actively talking to them, working with them, and even getting into the conversation about real estate, versus someone who you are doing that with. Obviously, you've already had that initial contact. So now everything you're doing with them is follow up. A lead is not someone you've been actively working with or discussing real estate with in the last 3 to 6 months. Because again, that's follow up. Two separate things often get confused, but they are absolutely different. And it's very important that they're different because the metrics and techniques are different in how you utilize them. A lead is not a client currently under contract or who have closed in the last week, right? That is not a lead. That is a client. That is a customer. If they've closed, then that's a past client. And then a lead is not people outside of your service area. Now, yes, referrals are great, guys. Absolutely, you can have referral leads, right? I'm in Tennessee. I've got a bunch of family in California and the East Coast and all over. Yes, those are referral leads. They could potentially send me business. But the truth is that we're focusing on your immediate lead gen area, not your immediate referral network. All right, so now show me the money. Type in the chat how much money. This is gross, meaning not including splits, fees, taxes, nothing like that. We're just keeping it simple today. How much money gross you would like to make in 2025 from your real estate sales. I'll give you an example. I want to make $157,289 from real estate sales in 2025. Remember, it is only your real estate related sales and closings, not your rev share, not your day job side incomes, not even flipping houses, right? We're focusing on leads and lead gen. So obviously real estate services like that. Loving these numbers. Tara, 125, Barbara, 250, Lori, 250, Judy, 100, Lauren, 150, Kathleen, 100, Jennifer, 120, Kristen, 100. There we go. Love it, guys. All right. Now, I think we got everybody there. Anybody who missed, make sure you drop that income in the chat because you will need that for the rest. Now, here's the next question. You've got the number. How many leads do you need to have in your database or sphere to reach that number? And if you don't know, it's okay. It's kind of the point of this call today. So you can just type in the chat NA, right? Not applicable. I don't know. But if you do know, drop in the chat. How many leads do you need to have in your database or sphere to reach that number? I'm actually loving seeing the NAs today, by the way, because welcome to the call and the purpose of the call. And I'm really excited to help you solve this, right? All right, Tara said 150 leads. I like that confidence. You guessed it. You said, listen, I'm going to go for it. That's awesome. All right, there we got more people than a few, just a few that have commented. So keep going. Lori, 1,000. Okay. Kathleen, no clue. Yep. Lauren said 150. She's just copying. You copying Tara's homework. 150 sounds good. All right. Everybody else, make sure you get them in the chat. Even if it's, you can guess, it doesn't matter. We're going to go through the process together. It's fine. Or if you truly don't know, just put NA for how many leads you need to have in your database. So here's the process. But actually, you know what I want to say first? You have an income goal. You know you need leads to hit that income goal, right? Duh, right? Lead Gen 101. I need leads to be able to get sales eventually. Isn't it crazy, though, that there's this huge bridge that's missing, which is how many leads? Is 150 enough? Is 1,000? Is it 500? We kind of need that bridge, don't we? We need to understand that gap. Otherwise, everything is just guessing. It's aimless. And that's why at night you can't sleep, because you don't know if you've done enough. And because remember, our job has no instant gratification at all. It is always delayed gratification. So the only thing you can count on is knowing that what you do today is correct. It's enough, even if you didn't get paid today. You guys understand what I just said, right? Because that is the nature of our job. This is not a W-2 where we get paid hourly. It's not a salary where we're going to be guaranteed. We have to trust and know, yep, I did X amount of lead gen today, and I know that that is enough, and it will produce the results that I need in the time that I need. All right, now let's actually get to the process. You do not need to do this yet. I will walk you through the example, and then you will have your turn next to actually do this for yourself, okay? So it's important that you just listen really good as I walk you through the example so you can just absorb the process of figuring this out. So the real numbers, now that you've got your annual income number, I'm going to show you how to figure out how many leads you need to talk to in order to hit that goal. You should be in the Agent Alliance live weekly calls. They're free. They're interactive. Within 5 to 10 minutes, you are working, getting live examples, live role plays. Unlike most calls where they're just sitting there and they're texting, we got you. You're going to leave this call having worked on a solution for your business, have an accountability partner and a whole community behind you to solve these problems. But you got to get into live call to get the full interactive experience. So we're going to go back to my example income goal of $157,289. That's how much in 2025 figurative person wants to make. Here's the process. You're going to go to your MLS and you're going to search for the median, not average. Okay, you guys hear that? Median sales price of homes in your market, not average. Median is the most accurate because it's not as affected by outliers like that random $5 million mansion when the vast majority of the homes around it are in the 400K range, right? So you're going to search for the median sales price of the home in your market. I'm going to say in mine, it's 400,000. Next, I'm going to assume a 2% commission. Why? It's just an average between 1 and 3. What's the middle? 2. We're not going to assume that we always hit peak, right? And we're not going to assume that we're always at the bottom. We're being conservative here, right? So 2% commission. So 400,000 times 2% equals $8,000. That would be my average commission on a $400,000. Remember how I came to that. Median average. I'm going to assume I can at least sell average homes in the area, because how does that median come about? It's saying this is roughly the average amount that people are buying homes. So it's a pretty good marker. Okay. And then 2%, a conservative number, $8,000. So now we'll take my annual income goal right here, $157,289, divide it by 8,000. That's 19.66 transactions. We're going to obviously round that up to 20 because there's no such thing as a 0.66 transaction for us. All right, so 20. So what that tells me is I needed to sell 20 homes at least $8,000 gross commission to reach my goal. Now, that doesn't answer the question about how many leads. The lead conversion of using a lead conversion of 1%. Now, NAR will say 2%, but I'm generally not seeing that. I'm being real with you guys. I work with a lot of agents. And NAR does not really explain how they even come across that number. Okay, that's why citing your sources and then like reasoning logically through it actually is very important, because NAR says between 2 and 5%, while at the same time 71% of agents last year didn't sell a home, but 300 million leads were sold last year. Not 300, sorry, 30 million leads were sold last year. So tell me how that math checks out, right? So this is why we're going to be conservative. 1% has been a good rule for a long time, even in my own direct experience, and probably even for you guys. So we're going to be conservative, just like we've been all along, and say that I convert leads at 1%. So 20 deals divided by 1%, your conversion ratio, means 2,000 leads annually. Now, who thinks that sounds like a massive number? Put your hand up if you feel like that sounds like a massive number. Okay, but now let's change that. Does 6 leads a day sound that much? Talking to 6 people a day, does that actually... You already talk to 6 people a day. You absolutely do. And that's without effort, by the way. You just naturally will. You talk to way more than probably 6 people a day, just naturally, without even consciously realizing it, right? And then I'm going to bring up one other thing, which will make sense in a minute, which is the 90-day goal. The 90-day goal is, how do I get those 2,000 leads in my database or sphere in 90 days? So that would be 23 leads a day. Now, let me pause there. I want to explain this very, very important thing. Okay? I'm going to start with a question. Who here from your brokerage, team, coach, posts on Facebook has been taught to just kind of lead gen every day all year long? Right? It's a pretty golden rule in real estate. I'm actually not one of those people who agree with that. And here's why. One, it takes 6, 8, 10 months to get paid on the average transaction, right? From lead to close, right? You work in that lead, you fall in love with that lead, then you actually have them pre-approved, blah, 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 closing, 6, 8, 10 months. So if you want to make X amount of dollars at the end of the year, then will your leads in October close in December likely? No. That's next year's income that you're setting up. So if you want to get paid this year, and you know it takes 6, 8, or 10 months for the average lead to even produce, right, to get that closing, then do you have time to lead gen at the end of the year to get end of the year sales? No. So once you start to hit March, April, May, you're not lead genning for this year's money. You're lead genning for next year's income. So if you need income this year, you don't have enough leads in your database, your sphere this year, you cannot do it over the course of a year. It has to be done fast, and it has to be done at the beginning of the year to set you up to hit your goal for the end of the year. Does that make sense? Give me a thumbs up if that makes sense. It's a new idea. A lot of people don't teach this. They don't talk about it, right? That's not an insult to them, but Tom Ferry doesn't talk about it. No brokers that I've ever had have talked about the fact that they'll even say it'll take 8 months to close a deal. But then they'll say lead gen every day, just talk to 10 new people a day and stuff like that. That is not enough. Okay? So that's where that 90-day, 23 leads a day comes from, because you want to get paid this year, okay? Right? Obviously, you want to get paid next year, and you will. But you want to get paid this year first, am I right? I mean, that's for me. All right. So now, calm down. I know it seems like a lot, but let's take it all together. just like a house might be 400K. Is someone actually spending 400K right when they buy the home? No, they're using leverage. They're using leverage to get a home, and they're breaking it down into monthly payments to meet within a certain time frame. So 6 leads a day is not that much, right? Even 23 leads a day for 90 days is very doable. And remember, I have lived this, guys. We teach the 100K in 100 days challenge as well. We are not teaching you anything we don't live, we don't know, we don't believe in, we don't teach others successfully. So take a deep breath. It's okay. It's a lot, but we're going to figure it out together. Okay? So here's the other thing that you need to remember. You only need to do this once. Did you hear me? You only need to do this once. Because when you have a database of 1,000, 2,000, whatever it is that you need to meet your income goal, you only need that once. And it will continue, one, to compound past clients, referrals, people being ready. Two, that will just continue to feed you. That's the number you need. It will naturally grow. It will naturally support and sustain you. So you only need to do it once. You don't need to generate 2,000 leads every year for the next 5 years. No, you just need to get to the number you need to be at. Then you need to successfully just follow up, nurture, and take care of it. And what's amazing is that in the same process, which I'm about to say, your conversion rate will go up, which means that your income will go up because it will take less conversations, less follow-up, less leads to produce your income. For example, if your conversion rate went from 1% to 2%, now that's 3 leads a day or 12 a day for 90 days. You guys follow me on this? So it absolutely is a lot of work. And now I'm going to give you my real life example. In my first year in real estate, no sphere of influence, no friends, no family, tons of debt, no background in real estate, nothing like that. And I sent out around 500 texts, messages, emails, combination of follow-up and lead gen, right? Just new contacts a week. A week, yes. Yes, that's how I learned about Facebook banning people from commenting and messaging too much. That's how I learned about the different ways to try and reach people via text message and how important it is to get an email and a phone number because Facebook banned me, right? I figured it out. And I didn't get paid, just so you know, for 8 months. I just ground so hard, so much because I knew. And then by the end of my first year, I had closed 34 deals. And I never needed to lead gen again because I had done enough. So you could do 1 year of working really hard. And if you break it down, it could be 90 days of working really hard to take care of your lead gen forever. Now, what would that mean for you? If you just had to spend 90 days and never, ever have to lead gen again, would that not feel amazing? Take a huge burden off of your shoulders to where you could just go, I'm okay. Right? Seriously, think about that for a second. What would that mean for your peace, your sound mind, to be able to know that your lead gen is good for the whole year, for the whole next 2 years? 3 years, maybe even, as long as you keep following up. Okay? All right. So hopefully that made sense. Hopefully that helps you take a deep breath and remember, right? We're breaking it down over either the course of a year, if you have the time, you have the money, or over 90 days, if you don't. Okay? All right, let's keep moving. So here's the proof of why you're going to need more leads than ever, because you will hear people who go, oh, well, I only need 100 or 200, 300, right? There's not much evidence of that anywhere, okay? There's really not. Mortgage applications are down 10%, okay? Mortgage applications are expected to decline another 5 to 8% in 2025. Fewer homes were sold in 2024 than 2023. Same as expected for 2025. The days on market has gone up, not down. So things aren't selling as fast. Now, I'm going to tell you to take a deep breath again, because I'm going to give you some really good news. There are millions of homes being sold every year, and you only need the tiniest fraction of them to live a really, really good life. Think about that, right? You only need 10, 20, 30, some of you more, to live a really good life from millions and millions of homes being sold. Also, you're not competing with 100% of agents. You're only competing with 29% of them, because last year, 71% of them didn't sell a single home. So you're only competing with 29%. And then realistically, it's even less than that, because you're only competing with the ones that service the same area as you. You guys follow me on this? You see how this is actually really, really good news? Really good news. And then the most important one is that you can do whatever others won't to achieve results that others only dream about. I wasn't smarter than anybody else. I didn't have a better strategy than anybody else. I just simply worked harder. When everybody else made excuses, you think my kids didn't get sick in that time frame? That I didn't get sick? That my wife didn't get sick? That I wasn't stressed about money? That we didn't have other scary things to do? Right? Car problems, politics, like you name it, all of the excuses. And I'm not even saying they're illegitimate excuses. There are very legitimate excuses. But I still did it. And that is truly the only reason. I wasn't smarter. I didn't have the best scripts. I messed up all the time. Some people thought I was weird, because one year, right around Christmas time, I put on a Santa hat and I sent out pictures of me saying Merry Christmas. I did a selfie to complete strangers, just so you know. But they weren't responding, so I was like, fine, I'll try sending them a picture. I was willing to do it, because if they thought I was weird for sending them a picture with me in a Santa hat, we're not going to get along anyway. I am loud. I am energetic. I am passionate. I wear a turkey hat on Thanksgiving. I wear a Santa Claus hat in December. I wear a pumpkin hat in October. Eventually, I'll have a hat for every single year, themed for the holiday, or every single month for the holiday, right? You guys follow me this, right? You really understanding? You're competing with such a tiny fraction of agents, and most of those agents aren't willing to work. It's the truth. They're not willing to work. So you just do a little extra work for the next 90 days or the next year if you want. And you will be so far ahead of literally the vast majority of the entire industry. That's it. All right, your turn. We're going to get into our breakout rooms, and here's simply what you're going to do. You're going to take the process. I'll put it back on the screen for you. Don't worry. I'll bring up this slide again for you. Not that slide. This slide, the process. I actually meant to do a slide just for this. Sorry. By the way, for those of you who've been in the breakout rooms, I've never been in the breakout rooms for us. All right, if you're watching right now, we do live breakout rooms where you get assigned a partner who's going to walk through the process with you that you learn in the calls in real time together. You'll put it into action, and then for the next week, they'll also be your accountability and solution buddy who will just help you through that and the assignment for the week. So we would love to see you on the live call so you can get into these breakout rooms. Now you're going to figure out how many leads you need by using the process that I showed you. It's not perfect, by the way. We're using conservative general statistics and averages. You will get better at refining this over time. Okay, so we're just using what we can. So first, whether you're social media or otherwise, when you get into your breakout room, whoever you're with, that's your accountability partner, okay, for the week. You're going to support each other, and we'll show you what that assignment looks like, okay? So make sure you exchange information, again, like Facebook, phone number, email, whatever you're most comfortable with. Then follow the process that I showed you, take the screenshot, and then you'll just do the 90-day version, which remember, it's just whatever number you came up with. Instead of dividing it by a year, you're going to divide it by 90 days. Read your partner read your process to your partner once you're done. So you can say it out loud. Make sure that it sounds right, right? Here's what I found. Here's what the average commission, the median home sale price, average commission, blah, 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 blah. It helps you to just articulate and say it out loud. Help them if they're struggling. And then write this down on paper for yourself or somewhere where you can see it every day because it's just a great thing. So that's what we're going to do. All right. So how do you feel seeing those numbers? Do you go back to I need to take a deep breath and remember, right? Remember that it's meant to be a grind. It's a one-time thing. It is not oh my gosh, I have to do this forever. No. You do this once, and then you just have to nurture them, and it will compound and grow. But when you break down either the annual of how many you need a day, 6, 7, 8, or even the 90-day stretch, right? A lot of you are in that 20-ish range, right? Do you feel, and it's okay to say no. Say yes if you think that the 21, the 25 a day in the next 90 days is doable. Say no if you don't think it is. It's okay to say no, by the way. It is okay to say no. All right, Barbara said no. Love it. Thank you for being honest. Lisa, nope. Lauren, no. Okay. 22 a day, no. Judy, no. Okay. So how about the year goal, right? Now that's more in the 5, 6, 7-ish a day. Yes or no on that? Is that doable? Okay, I like this. Now, next question is, how many of you need to, let me put it a different way. What would be your bare minimum, I need to make this from real estate to survive goal? Okay. Some of you might have a day job that's already covering that, but maybe you're wanting to leave that day job. So it's not, okay, I need $250,000 to reach a very important goal for me. That's great. But if your bills are 90K, 100K, right? Perfect. Yes. Obviously, Laura, you want to make that 250, duh, right? But you need some of this realistic side of it too. So sometimes jumping to these really big goals can be really overwhelming for us, especially if we're not used to generating even 10 new contacts a day, right? I'm a realistic person. I'm not just going to tell you, just do it. You have a day job. Many of you probably have kids. You're human, not to mention you're human. Like, come on, you're going to get sick. You're going to have rough times. So one of the things I like to start with is, okay, now, if I don't think that I can confidently get that goal of, the 2,000 in the next 90 days, what would I need to do in the next 90 days to just get the bare minimum that my family needs? What would that look like? For many of you, that would be half or even less than what your actual half, even 25% for some of you of what your big goal was, which means that the amount of leads you need, if you needed 2,000, you cut that in half. Now you only need 1,000, right? That's a lot less. And 1,000 leads over 90 days is just 11 new contacts a day. And if you think about that, now you've just covered all your bills from real estate. It's a pretty big deal, right? Even for those of you who are full-time in real estate, you still need to know these numbers, right? You're always going to want to make more money, but let's make sure that you at least have what you need in your database to make the minimum that you need, because that's the most important, right? Covering our bills, keeping the lights on, food in the fridge, taking care of our families. For those of you, again, who have day jobs and you want to get out of those day jobs, you need to properly, consistently supplement that income, right? Right? So these are why these numbers are important. So this is your accountability for each other. Hope you exchange information. You're going to support each other in the next week. This is what you're going to do. Write down how many leads you currently have in your database. For many of you, unless you're a brand new agent who's never done this, you're not starting from zero. You might have 100, 200, 300 leads already in your database. And that means your CRM, your phone, or any form of direct communication that you have with someone. Some of you have 700 people on your phone already. You think that's not a database? That's a direct line of communication to 700 people. which means you have a database of 700. So you're not having to go find new information, new people. If your goal was 1,000, right, that's what you need for the leads, but you already have 300 people in your phone that you can connect with directly. Now you just need to make up the difference of 700, right? You guys follow me? Does that make sense? Okay, good. Just want to make sense. So most of you are not starting from zero. And for those of you who are, hey, I feel you. That's exactly where I was. I started from zero. So I get it. All right. Now you're going to write down the general sources of those leads. What does that mean? Okay. Church, work, referrals, Facebook Marketplace. Where did all these leads come from? And remember, guys, I'll say it here, but we send out replays. We send out the slides as long as you're in the newsletter, because it's the best way for me to send it out. So you will get all of this as long as, and all of you registered, so you'll get the replays and slides. Okay. Now, the reason why we write down the general source of the leads is you need to know, where have I naturally gravitated towards, right? Some of you might not even go to church, so church might not be the best lead source. That one person you met that one time because you were visiting family and you went to their church on Sunday. Is that a good lead source for you? No. But some of you are like, well, actually, Lauren, right? I'm at my day job and I actually talk to people a lot here. I have met a lot of people here. So now you know, okay, this actually is a prominent lead source for me. I just didn't even realize it. This will help you to kind of diagnose and get an idea of what you're working with, how many people, and where you naturally gravitate to meet people. Right? For me, it's Facebook. I'm very active on Facebook and in Facebook groups, so it's a very natural place for me. Other sources would not be good. I don't have another day job. I don't have a W-2. That's not going to work for me, right? All right. So now from there, and again, you'll have all this. This is what you're going to do for the next week, step by step, right? Is you're going to figure out how many more leads you need to generate, like we talked about. How many do I have? Where do they come from? And then how many do I actually need now? And you can decide for yourself, okay, which target am I going to focus on? The amount of leads I need to hit the bare minimum, or the amount of leads I need to hit my maximum, right? My maximum goal for the year, 250,000 or 100,000, which is, I think, what Laura, you were saying, right? So you'll decide for yourself what you want to focus on, what's feasible. Then I want you to write down what ways you think you can generate those leads. It's okay. This is actually going to lead into more, okay? This is going to lead into another training that I'm going to talk about in just a second. So you're just going to do your best of, how do I talk to people, right? Tara, do leads equal talking to someone? Yes, being intentional with them, starting up those relationships again, and providing value. If you guys don't remember what we did with Art Kelly 2 weeks ago with the Friend Maker, and we were taught about that and just how to talk to people. How do I reach out to my sphere, my network, and just talk to them again? And there's different strategies about that. And so then you're going to want to start figuring out, how do I time block? You do not need to be perfect at this, guys. I know that a lot of this sounds overwhelming, but if you just take one of these activities and just did one a day for the next week, that wouldn't be that bad, right? If you just said, listen, today I'm just going to figure out how many people I have in my various databases. That's not that bad. And then tomorrow I'm going to write down the sources of those leads. And then the day after that, I'm going to figure out how many more leads I need to generate. And the day after that, I'm going to decide, how do I want to generate these leads? Meaning the gap, right? I need 500 more leads. How do I want to reach these people? Maybe you hate your coworkers and you could not stand them, right? Okay, well then you're going to have to figure out a different source. Hopefully you don't. Hopefully you have a good relationship with them, right? But you got to figure out, how am I going to generate those leads? And you're going to time block enough, meaning what time do I think I need to be able to get this done each day? Is it an hour, 2 hours? You're just going to learn, okay? Because this is going to lead into another class. So help each other, be accountable, do your best to follow these activities. This is the stuff that, whether you like it or not, you do need to know. So it's not something where you just go, that Robert guy, just BS stuff, just doing nothing at all. You have to know this stuff. You have to know this, or you won't reach your goal. That's just, it sucks. I mean, it seriously sucks that this is the reality of being a CEO. But it is the reality of being a CEO. You are self-employed. You are the boss. The boss has to know these numbers. The boss has to know whether the company is hitting the numbers and doing the things that we have to do to produce the results that we need to stay alive. There you have it. How to get 2 deals a month from Facebook groups with no ads, not spending a dime, and even if you suck at social media. And you don't even have to have your own group. You can just leverage other people's groups. And so make sure that you subscribe to the Agent Alliance newsletter so that you can get the replays, the slides, and extra details, insights, assets, connections, resources, you name it, for free. Okay? And also get in the Agent Alliance group so you can connect with others just like you. And of course, keep coming to these live calls where we get interactive, we do breakout rooms, and we just crush it together.